Hi, Wendy. All right, I'm going to do your soul rebirth journey now. So, we're just going to go as guided by spirit and we'll just see what happens here, okay? You did mention to me that you had a really amazing awakening in 2012. So, be curious to see where they take us on this. It's been an awesome journey since my awakening in 2012, and I'd be happy to let spirit be our guide. I love that. Okay, I'm just going to relax and then we'll see where spirit takes us. I see a woman instantly. She has a crown on her head. I really love her posture. She's poised. She's holding something in her hand and it's in this direction. It kind of makes me think of the Queen of Hearts, but she's dressed in pink, some satininess to the texture of the material, has a golden crown on her head. Her hair is really prettily pulled back. There's nothing it's just the way that she's standing, and then the way whatever it is that she's holding is kind of in a diagonal, so it kind of looks like a card, like a deck of cards kind of thing. She stands up straight. She has no expression on her face. Is it serious? Does she have something in the back of her mind? It's just straight line mouth. She shows me, she looks at me, and then she shows me she looks to the side. This space is starting to fill with the sound of lots of people. There is a hushing noise. I'm examining her emotional body. She does have something important to say, but she's not speaking. However, I'm telling you, I'm not able to see the crowd, but I'm able to hear lots of people in what would be a grand room. In their talking or commotion, there's no sounds of musical instruments or anything. It's just people. And then people going, being hushed or, quieted down so she could speak. And you don't see a king here or any male figure at the front of this room, only her. I'm waiting for her to speak still. She's starting to collect herself and the motivation to say what it is in her heart. Is she the Queen of Hearts? Again, when she chooses to speak, she literally is gathering such a balance of her thoughts and emotions in order to speak exactly what it is that she means from her heart and what her feelings mean as best she can define them in a way that is of a very high vibration, and it has a lot of meaning and importance. People are there to hear what she has to say. There is a very reserved nature that she possesses. She's not out there ready to start the show, jazz hands or anything. She's poised, she's together, she's serious, but, excuse me, she's serious, but she's not serious in a negative way. She's serious in a balanced way because what she has to say is serious. And when she speaks, it is worth hearing. What she has to say, it is worth hearing. And it is on a serious tone. I'm going to tell you what I like about this is, the world today, how can we make it entertaining? How can we captivate people? How can we catch people's attention? How many, look over here. Oh, there's writing down here. It's just constantly. But here she is centered, she is balanced, and she's speaking. That is all there is to see. Is this boring? What she has to say, you allow your heart to listen to it, allow it to define itself for you. Allow yourself to contemplate it. I'm telling you, this is a big deal. And this is about you. I like it because the style is something that you don't really get today. She's not trying to make an impression on anybody. She just is herself. And she takes her feelings and her thoughts seriously. And when she speaks naturally. And people listen. That's important because people are listening to her. And she is in the front. I do not see any other, there's no king here, there's no male figure up here. And it's like a throne type of the front of the room. It's like where the thrones are. I just see her. And where she is standing and I'm at an angle, I can't see. Are there two thrones? Is there just one throne? I'm not able to tell you the answer to that. I just see her. There's something far more relaxed about this shift in the scene. She's fanning herself. Her personality or style is far more relaxed right now. It's almost, she still has kind of a serious side to her, but there's cheerfulness about this. And it's almost like a really friendly gathering with, aunts and nieces and nephews or something and the uncles. Just a very small gathering, and it's like you would drink lemonade and talk, and there's no television or no electronics. It's really old school in that way where people are actually interacting with each other, and that's the entertainment. But that's just me. Like, oh my gosh, life was actually like this at one time where people actually talked to each other as the entertainment. But this is natural. This is a natural scene. I love it. There's a table outside on a very massive lawn, and there's a white tablecloth, and there's a very light breeze, and it's a totally summer's day, but they're fully dressed, and these women with all them layers on they're hot, and this one, she's of a very high caliber, and she's fanning herself. I love her. There's something really, I don't know what it is she's talking about, but my heart is just like, I just feel so happy inside. I just feel so cheerful to talk to her. And it's not serious. It's not about anything big here. It's just about life stuff. And that's the way it feels right now. It's really a lighthearted gathering. And it's particular between her and another. It feels like a female, but I'm not able to see. I'm just able to see her face. And it smiles. And then it just goes a natural relaxed state. The seriousness is not there at all. But it's very relaxed. I don't get the impression she has a really loud, humorous side, or she likes to tease a whole lot, or it just doesn't seem like her nature, but she can chuckle and giggle and say funny things too. But there's no punchlines to what she shares. She's got a serious side, but she's not always serious, She's just a genuine person. She's really talking about something, and she's not stopped talking. And it really feels like it has to do with a family affair or something like that, or this is what my kids are up to, and it's a kind of a girl talk kind of thing. Again, as I'm examining the conversation, again, that energy hits me where it's like, I just love talking to you. What else? What else, has been going on? I mean, it's such a girl talk moment. Things are starting to fade. I feel an energy shifting change. And it kind of comes with a sleepy side to it. There's a really intense, all of a sudden, beautiful summer's day, super gloomy. It feels like a storm's a brewing, and really intense shifts of wind, and it's blowing the tablecloth. it's instantly starting to downpour rain, and everybody, the women have their hats on, and they even have really fancy umbrellas that they could lift up, and then it just kind of to shade them from the sun. It's not like umbrella for rain. It's like a really fancy cloth style umbrella just to shade them from the sun. And they're really dolled up, really fancy dresses. There's chairs here. I see a little boy. He too is dressed in nice pants and a shirt. He's got this smirk on his face, like watching everybody, all the women, and the men are trying to, but it's really more about the women. I don't really see men mingling. I mean, it feels like a family gathering, but I do not see men mingling. It's more like a women's thing. And there appears to be children there too, but I just see this one boy in particular. He keeps looking at me, his head kind of cocked to the side and a little half smile. He's a little, maybe 4 or 5. There's no rain around him. He's just showing me his expression right now. I feel a great deal of love in my heart for this little person, and I come over and I give him a hug. It's almost as if there's 2 scenes taking place at once. There's an absolute downpour, really heavy raindrops splatter, big ones. And then this rush and women like, I'm getting all my pretty dresses all wet. And then there's this other scene. It's sort of intertwined with the rainy scene, but in this scene, there's nothing distracting me from the moment of seeing this boy and giving this boy a very long hug. And him hugging me. There's no raindrops, there's no thunder or lightning, there's no family gathering, there's just this moment. I'm telling you, it is not telling me that she is this boy's mother. I'm not feeling that. It's more like there's a sincere soulmate bond that just so happens her soul was born, now she's, 40s, and then he just happens to be like 4 or 5 years old. But it's that kind of really sincere connection. Soulmates can be parents and children, or you can be a mentor and taking, helping out a kid, a teenager or something. You can have soulmate bonds from all different age brackets. And it's awesome. It's really awesome to experience. You can have a really amazing soulmate relationship where it's like, I just want to see you smile. I love playing with you. I love, and it just comes out in that way where you just want to give this little person lots of hugs and you're dazzled by them. It doesn't mean anything, inappropriate touching or anything like that. You just love them very, very much. It just comes out, sort of pours out instinctively. You just instinctively just adore this little person. That's how she feels right now in her heart. She just adores this little person. And he totally just adores her as well. He just loves her like a mother. It's just a real genuine bond that their souls have. They just happen to be in different, really extreme age differences. They're continuing to show me this scene. There's something silly here. She's actually picking him up. It doesn't seem like she would be able to do this with her really fancy dress, but she, like a man would. She's hoisting him up and then holding him like in her arms, and then kind of like this. We're back in the rainy scene, like, we're gonna get rained on. And they're trying to run into this really massive house. And there's so much laughter between her and this little boy. He's just having the time of his life right now in this moment. And how is her fancy shoes or fancy dress, how is she supposed to run? But this is what they want me to show you of this scene. She is really just she's handling this little boy. She's hoisted him up and they're running inside. And there's raindrops and there's so much laughter and it's really fun. We're waiting for the next thing. There's an image of being inside. I don't know, is this a palace? Is this just a really massive house and, you know, kind of out on the outskirts of a town? I don't, it's a massive home though, and they're inside and they're dripping wet, and you can hear the water droplets falling to what is like marble flooring or something of that kind. You can hear the water droplets actually dripping off of their hats and their clothes and everything, and they're cold. There's like they feel cold. They want to get out of these wet clothes and change into something else. There's just a patient moment between the feeling of hearing the water droplets hit the floor, that cold sensation, wanting to get out of these wet clothes, and the boy's just still just sort of standing there completely silent. He just doesn't really talk much. He just watches her. He is soaked. His hair is soaked to his face. His clothes are all wet. And he's just waiting. He's not saying anything. He's just waiting for her to tell him what to do or what comes next. I just still do not get the impression that she's his mother. I don't feel that yet. He's extremely patient. I mean, most kids would just be rattling on. He's just a really respectful kid. He would even be waiting for her to ask him to do something in order to help all of the females, and he would be Johnny on the spot about it. Whatever she would ask of me, you know, I'll do that right away. It's like she's an aunt or something. It's just, I'm almost getting the impression he doesn't have a mother. So he's living with her. They show me another room in this home, and there's a massive moose head hanging from this wall. I can't believe how huge it is. I mean, and there's a really humongous fireplace in here. It's massive. And you can hear it crackling and popping. There's a sense that it's later in the evening, almost bedtime kind of feel. It's like a really extravagant study kind of thing. Really fine chairs and books, a massive fireplace. Again, there's no televisions, electronics. So this is an entertainment room. You go read books and experience the fire crackling. And this is real. They have all of their needs met. Now they're finally showing me a male. He's got really dark hair. I mean, this would be, I don't know, is this her husband? Is this a man she knows? He's wearing pajamas that are blue with white pinstripes to them. He's got slippers. He's got a really intense mustache, really dark colored hair. And so it just kind of comes off and then kind of comes up. It's not actually take the earwax and make it curl it right. It's actually, it just kind of comes like that. I mean, he's getting out of bed. It's morning now. He has a mirror he holds, and he is doing something to shave his face. He's not doing this is fine, but he's doing something here with his face. It's a little handheld mirror. Okay, they want me to... Alright, so in the process of trying to figure out... He's got a handheld mirror. It's quite a fancy one. It's got a golden... I mean, it's... I don't know, is it made out of real gold? Or... But you hold it, and it's like he's doing something with his face here. Well, that is happening. They're showing me just like a whiteboard, and then they're using like a whiteboard marker and then just drawing a single black line straight like that. And these scenes are all blended together, so I'm looking through them and they're blended together. He makes no sound. I'm not experiencing any of his emotions. I am inspired to... So if we were to call these sort of like, here's the poster, but there's something, I can see through the images, but we're just sort of going through the catalog of images. And so I'm just in this catalog here. I see him with this mirror, and then beyond him is this next catalog, the line. I'm inspired to literally step on his face as I'm trying to maneuver over this image and into the other image. I mean, I just feel like I don't care about you. Just whatever I can do to get to the other image. So in the process of that, I just happened to step on his face. Oops, sorry. Just trying to get over here. I just don't seem to have any feelings towards this man. And it's not necessarily like I should. It doesn't hurt him for me to step on his face. He's just sort of part of like a screen, like an image inside of a screen, and I'm just sort of, moving through them. But here I'm getting to this image with this line. I'm just sitting. It's like I'm sitting in a classroom. I'm looking at the learning board. It's not an old school chalkboard. This is literally like a whiteboard with a dry erase marker style. That is all that I am looking at. I really am a little boy sitting at a desk, and it seems like it's just me in a classroom. But yet I can hear kids filing in, but I'm able to see the entire classroom. And while I hear all these kid noises, chairs moving, desks kind of getting pushed or whatever, and bags getting put away or just filing in kids into a classroom, the teacher up at the front. But yet all those kids are invisible. We are looking at one little boy. He's in the first row in the middle desk, and he's dressed old school style. I mean, he's got some, I don't know what year this would be, but he's got some like corduroy shorts on and like a little starched button-up shirt that's got a cream color to it, and some cute little suspenders, and some sort of knitted, like these socks are nice ones. He's got a cute little haircut, and he's just really sharp looking kid. And he's just sitting there, maybe 5. He looks like he's really short for his age. It's only him. And I'm telling you, it's a more of a modern chalkboard, which is a whiteboard. He is his feet when he sits in the chair do not touch the ground, so they swing back and forth. He kind of crosses just at the ankles, and then his legs kind of move back and forth. He has a pencil that is fully sharpened, and he's like writing on this paper, even a little tongue on the side, like he's really thinking through this. It's just kind of silly watching him. Gotta get it just right. I mean, he's really into what it is that he is writing. Is he really old enough to write it? He is writing, though. Something important is on his mind. He's doing his best to define it with the words that he knows how to spell as best as he knows how to spell them. And his handwriting is not particularly good, but he is very serious about what he feels inside and making sure to put it on the paper in a way that he really is serious about this. It's important to him. And it's because of his age and because of the value and the importance of it. I mean, I feel a great deal of warmth and triumph in his heart, even though the words may be misspelled and maybe his handwriting is not the best. But he thinks he is really triumphant because he is writing this. And because his feelings are important, and because they need to be written down. I want to show this to mom and dad and make them proud. I mean, but it's more than that. I mean, this kid has a really important message to share, and he will do whatever it takes to share it. They show me that he continues to try to write as best as he knows how, even for hours, to the point that he's still alone at this desk in this room. Even the lights are off. Nobody's there. He should be in bed right now. But he is continuing to strive to stay with it, to keep trying, to continue to write. And now he's sort of head laid down. He needs to take a nap for a little bit. And now it's morning. This time, there's kids all over the place. It's like the first scene. It's like the start of the school day. And it's as if he was dreaming all along. And he just happened to wake up and it's like, oops. It just was a dream, I guess. I need to get serious. It's school. But they're showing me the kids are all dressed more like modern day. And this guy is the one that's invisible now. This one girl they keep showing me, she has white blonde hair. It's fine and straight. And she has a really huge smile, and she's missing teeth because of her age. And but you cannot miss her. I mean, really noticeable. I mean, she's dressed like, you could probably see her wearing a Shopkins or something. I'm like whatever, La La Loopsy girl or something. I mean, there's something modern about the way she's dressed. She looks like a kid from today. And she's really happy and excited. I don't know what she's excited about. I mean, at this point, it's almost like it was just, they're showing me time passing. I mean, she's got like a Kool-Aid mustache now. And she's still smiling, and her teeth kind of have some red on them. She really likes to interact with her friends. And she's waving at one at the back of the class because everybody's come back in to sit down again. Now they're showing me again the exact same scene. And she's always standing in the exact same place, but they're allowing me to notice that time has passed. So the same exact scene, and now she's ready to collect her book bag and school's over. She's still happy, but she feels a lot more tired now. It's like, man, was it a long day. I finally get to go home. Take the school bus. It's 3:00. I'm kind of disappointed here. She's on a school bus. She is the only person on the school bus. I mean, I'm telling you, I myself energetically, from the way the energy is shifting, I feel sad. I feel the complete opposite of happy. I feel sad and alone in my own world, and the true me is actually coming out now. And nobody ever sees the real me. And it's almost like I really don't want to go home because I'm happier when I'm at school around my friends or something. That's kind of the way it feels. It just feels really gloomy. Like I don't want to. I'm really worn out, and now I'm a different person. I mean, from that really happy, noticeable face, waving at friends at the back of the class, kind of bebop into my desk. It's just really happy, completely different demeanor now. Nobody's on the bus. It's completely empty. There's no driver even. It's like it's in motion, but to her, it might as well be standing still, and it's just her in her own world. They're showing me that she too has an interest in pulling out her notebook. It comes like a trapper keeper or something. And so she's opening it up, and then now she's got notebook pages. And so she's wanting to write too, but she has like a really hot pink marker or something. And she too is doing the tongue thing, like, what am I writing? I gotta write it perfect, and this like tongue movement is I'm like really serious about this. But for her, she's drawing a picture instead of writing a story or whatever it might be. She is writing a picture instead. It's the best I could describe. Is it a strawberry or is it a heart? It's smiling though. And it's made out of pink marker. And it's very kid-like in the way that it's drawn. It really feels like a heart. I mean, it's starting to become clearer and clearer that it is a heart. It's got kind of that Shopkins kind of persona. Like, you can get this like the strawberry Shopkins smiling. But for some reason, it has kind of the essence of a heart shape. I can't see the point, right? So I can only see it kind of coming around. It's got really genuine eyes and a noticeable smile. It keeps flipping. I mean, one version, it definitely looks like a heart and eyes and then a smile. And then another version, it kind of shifts into, it looks more like strawberry. It actually has lips that are smiling and then a little bit more detail on the eyes. There's something here about the hue of love, pink and red. Smiles, joy, eyes that see. They show me that from her are drops of liquid that hit the piece of paper, and then the paper absorbs it's like teardrops. Did she just cry? I mean, 2 teardrops or 2 droplets of water just hit the page, and I just see the droplets absorbing into the paper now. I really feel like she was trying to hide the fact that she was crying, because now she's sort of wiping her nose or something, and she's collecting herself. See you later, everybody, and going off the bus kind of thing. I mean, the bus is filled with people now. She really tries to hide this. She's keeping something to herself. I mean, they're showing me her aging, and now she's kind of more of a teenager. She's a really deep nature about her. And a serious side, and it's borderline too deep. To be that deep could inspire depressive feelings, because of her. She's serious and deep, and she's not into the same things other kids are into. But this is her alone in her room, doing her own thing. This isn't her at school, so this may be the other side of her that she doesn't show everybody else. It's like she is researching something online. Some topic that's interests her. It doesn't feel like a school-related study. She's in her room with her own computer, and it's like she's doing Google searches or something. Thing is she's not taking notes. She has a sheet of notebook paper, but again, she's drawing hearts. These ones are quite crisp and clear, and there's really kind of a romantic kind of feeling about them. She's drawing a really perfect heart. Like, they're little tiny heart bubbles on the side of her notebook page. It's not notebook page, giant heart in the middle, like the younger version. It's notebook page, and I'm just doodling little perfect hearts over here in like the corner of the page. And some of them I actually color in, and some I don't. And then I don't know if she's an amazing artist or she just imagining, but there's it's like her, she likes him and he's drawn on her page. And I mean, the shading is perfect. She has identified what he looks like. I mean, it's perfect drawing. A little miniature, 2 or 3 inch tall, that's my boyfriend, or that's who I want to be my boyfriend. And the hearts and the feeling, she's really engaged in this. So her eyes and attention are off now the computer and really focused on her thoughts about love and drawing these hearts and just kind of being in a la-la world of just thinking about love. A mother or somebody's coming in. She instantly shuts her notebook because she doesn't want her mom to see what teenagers just, they don't want their parents to know they draw hearts in their notebook and these guys that they like. Mom knocks on, "Are you ready for bed now?" Shuts notebook. Yes, I'm getting ready for bed now. She's really sweet. She's really happy when she thinks about a relationship with somebody she really likes. She's kind of in a daydream about this. And she smiles about it. I mean, she really does. Like, she could be walking from class to class. She's not really paying attention. I mean, she could have friends she's talking to, but she doesn't really exactly hear them either because she just likes thinking about this one person. She's just in the zone of her fantasy. It's not as if she's visualizing anything. She just feels love in her heart and likes thinking about talking to this boy, or maybe this boy likes her too, or something of that kind. I don't feel like this is her boyfriend. It feels like she likes him and maybe he doesn't know it yet or something. There's an interesting, it's just as if I'm being pulled out of this sort of, I don't know, junior high school scene. Because things are getting really relaxed again. I mean, it's almost like I just woke up in the middle of the night. It's just dark in here. My window's open. I close the window. There's something kind of kooky. I mean, it's just waking up, but I don't know what's going on with the thoughts. Maybe she's just kind of disoriented because she just woke up and then she's just trying to go back to sleep or whatever. It's not that balanced, kind of heavenly, can't feel my own feet because I can't stop thinking about this guy kind of feel. It's different. I mean, it's really like... okay, so when I saw this scene, I saw like a shadowy man in the room with her. And there was nothing of her. I was just examining, does she know he's there? Is he actually there? Is he did she wake up from a nightmare and she's thinking about this? I'm trying to make sense of it. And so I just see him there. She goes to close her window. She lays back down. There's kind of a frictiony feeling in her energy. But I don't necessarily think that she sees him, notices him, or that he's even really bothering her. He just seems to be there just watching her. I don't necessarily know if he's evil or a bad guy. I mean, he just happens to just be in the room with her. There's nothing... I'm telling you, it sounds kind of freaky, but I don't... I mean, most of us don't have a clue how many invisible people there are hanging around us half the time. We just go about our days and don't see anything. As she snuggles into her pillow, she actually starts to feel warm in her heart again and snuggly, and she smiles again. She feels safe and cozy and ready to go back to sleep. I mean, is this like a soulmate watching over her, or they're not sharing anything else about this scene? That's all they're going to share about this scene. That's all I can get out of it. They show me a tree. Like, it's a really big, full tree, and I keep thinking about tree house. And I think about playing in a tree house. I mean, this tree is totally, like, this tree can't be real. It's way too awesome to be real. There's wooden boards. It seems like lots of little kids climbing up the ladder that's connected to the tree, getting to this perch in the tree. It feels like several, like 4 or 5 young kids. There's kind of a cartoonish flair about it. But it's cartoonish that it looks real, though. But you can tell it's kind of cartoonish because the kids are like the size of Charlie Brown, right? And they kind of act like the little rascals or something. I mean, there's something kind of not real life about it, but obviously tree houses are real life, and kids playing in tree houses, there is. So you can see there's kind of a meld between a fictional and a reality kind of scene here. They're just such busy bees. I mean, it's as if I'm really shocked. It's not like they're necessarily playing, but it's not like they're not playing. They're collaborating, they're building, they're creating, they're having fun, they're laughing, they're teasing, they're like builder ants or something. They're little busy bees. They're not just, we're in the secret clubhouse and we're sharing the secret password and we're talking about secret things. They're actually active and involved in building the treehouse, or just, I mean, they're doing things. There seems to be one that he's got all the ideas, and so he's got the plan and giving, I want, Kid A, go ahead and go do this. We need you to bring this stuff back. Kid B, I need you to grab this. I need you to bring this back so we can do this. Kid C, so he's sort of the leader of the team, and then telling them, this is how we're going to get it done, and I need you to grab this, I need you to get that, and this over here, I need you to get this. That way we can make it perfect. And they're like, yeah, we can. It's really awesome because nobody says the boss is Mr. Super and we're not as super, because it takes everybody to build the treehouse. It takes the workers just as much as it takes the idea maker to build the treehouse. There's just a certain finesse that this one has, and that they all kind of sense it. It's like the alpha dog. It just has a certain finesse, and they all just sense it and react like, we know you are awesome at creating the ideas, and so just tell us what we need to get so we can get this put together, because I know it's going to be awesome as long as we follow your plan or whatever it is. And I love it because that's a big part of the message, because they have different roles, but they're still totally balanced. I mean, each role is important. There's not one more important than the other. And they're kids putting together their masterpiece treehouse. I mean, there's a need for wooden boards, and there's a need for nails, and there's a need for some tools like hammers and stuff. So these other kids are like the finders. I know your parents have some nails, so I need you to run home and grab the nails. I know, so there's something about this here. They keep emphasizing the man with the finesse, the kid with the ideas. He doesn't have the nails or the boards or the tools. So great, good job. You have ideas. Whoop-de-doo. You have nobody to put your ideas together. So he's got ideas that are great, right? But what good are they if he doesn't have A, B, and C? He needs this kid because he knows where the wooden boards are and he can supply that. He needs this kid because he knows where to get the nails and he can supply that. And he needs this kid because this kid knows, where all the tools are and can bring the tools. And so there's something to this as well. Again, they show me now this kid A knows where the wood is. Whoop-de-doo, you got some wood. What are you going to do with it, buddy? Can't really do much with just wood. You need somebody with ideas. You need some nails. You need somebody, with tools. The same goes for kid B with the nails and kid C with the tools. You cannot build anything unless we build it together. And ideas only go so far. Ideas have to get put into action. And to put ideas in action, you need those who are really good at being the filler pieces to make the whole project come together. They're asking you, I don't understand. The question is, can you build it? Can you build it? They say, can you build it? There's something here, we're talking about puzzle pieces, building the puzzle. There's some issue here because there's an issue with the puzzle pieces not fitting together right. And it's as if we have a box with several different puzzles in it, but they all look the same. But it's like, okay, we have this awesome puzzle of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we have 3 of the exact same puzzles. Let's just throw all the puzzle pieces in the air, mix them all together, and then we'll just take 50 of, what should be like 2, and then we'll try and fit a puzzle together without having all the puzzle pieces. This is a real mess. This is not going to work. You can't mix 3 boxes of the same puzzle pieces together, mix them all up, and then just take, a portion of all of them to build one puzzle. You're gonna have pieces that's just going to be a mess. You can't accomplish it. They show me somebody trying to accomplish it, and they're getting so mad they're ripping off even the image. And they're pushing down on the puzzle piece heads and stuff to try to force them into place. And it's just wrecking this whole puzzle. It's just frustrating. The puzzle is getting ruined. The puzzle pieces don't even fit, and that's annoying. And we might as well I just want to trash it really bad. But yet, I have this weird, insane need to keep trying. Why are you continuing to try? Why? We've already deemed that this is a mess to begin with. There's just nothing. It's not going to work to begin with. We've already gone over the reason as to why, and yet still you're telling me, but I have to keep trying. I have to keep trying. Why? It won't work, period. It actually will not work. I mean, it just won't. There's some projects that sometimes you're going to have to get up and walk away from them. Some ideas, I don't know what your life is like or what your goals are, but this is a huge message for you. Sometimes you're going to run into this scenario and you're not going to want to give up and you're going to keep trying to accomplish something that literally you can't accomplish it. You really cannot. Nobody can accomplish this. It's impossible. It just won't be accomplished, period. You get why. And in that case, you have to find a means to acknowledge this isn't going to work. That's really hard to do because you've already built so much of this puzzle, and now you're realizing that you have 20 pieces left and you really need, 50 pieces, and you have pieces that just, that literally nothing is going to fit with what you've created. It just, how do you actually, after all of this time and effort, take this creation and then just put it in the trash? You want to keep trying to find an angle to make it work. Reality is sometimes you literally just, okay, accept. Hey, I gotta accept this wasn't defeat by any means. It just was never meant to be created fully. It was never meant to come together completely. It was never meant to. And the more frustrated that you become to try to force it into being, the more it just starts breaking and getting worse, and the picture is getting all screwed up, and it hit the dead end, and now we're going way overboard with it and just messing it up so much worse. You just need to take the pieces, just, you know what, new project. It's like, but I've been working on this for 3 years. Yep, new project. It's horrible. I'm telling you, the way this feels is absolutely horrible. I don't want to accept that. So how do you accept it? They're asking me. They said, well, Abby, then how do you accept it? What is your advice for Wendy? How is she supposed to accept it? Okay, so let me see. This is exciting. Let me see. I'm examining the way this feels. I'm examining this feeling of defeat. I'm examining all the hard work I've put into this, and this discovery that no matter how I put the pieces in, they aren't going to fit. And now I'm starting to ruin the actual picture itself. Part of it is I actually know in my heart that this is starting to turn into a real... it's just not going to happen, but I don't want to give up just yet because I just want to make sure. And so I'm continuing to try from different angles just to see. I'm just going to just see. And I'm going to continue to just see. And now months have passed from just seeing, just testing the waters just to see. And now it's like I've been putting so much time into this that I'm going to continue to just see, because I don't really have the ability to stop now and start over again, because it's like a deadline or something associated with it. That's how it feels. So what do you do? How do you, either A, you say this is what it was meant to be all along, a half-built puzzle. And how would you even know that was as good as it was ever going to get? And if you keep pushing it, it's actually going to screw up the most perfect you could have ever gotten it. So either A, you have to figure out how to come to a point where you acknowledge that this is as good as it's going to get. Don't push it any further. It's just going to muck things up. So it's a half-created puzzle, but maybe that was exactly as it was meant to be. Maybe it was just meant to be this. It's kind of like science, is there gravity? Is there Earth flat? There's something about even science. We have a puzzle, right? That is called science. And we do the best we can to make sense of things using logic and mathematics and etc. And sometimes this is the best we can come up with for right now. And so now you give the idea to the totality, and now you have A, B, and C that read about this or discover this half-created puzzle, and they're like, I got the rest of the puzzle pieces. I can do this. I can help you. But you're never going to figure that out without A. A's wood and C's, B's nails and C's hammer. Sometimes you might be a really large portion of the answer, but you may not be able to be the full total answer without others that actually fit the remaining pieces of the puzzle in together to make it complete. That's what they're saying. Science too, coming up with theories to prove things. they can only do as best as they understand at the time. And how do you advance? You continue to test your theories. And now we have hundreds of years of scientists exploring and testing and discovering. And now we see this was the best we can make of the puzzle, is now we're trying to continue to make it better. And we just keep doing that. That is the answer, is what they're saying. So they're saying, don't throw it away. Come to a discovery that this is complete, because this is the most complete you can make it. That doesn't mean that it can't be finalized with the help of people you've never even met yet. And they have the ingredients, they have the tools necessary to complete it. But you're never going to meet them. If you throw it all in the trash, you got to at least put the best that you can out there, and then let them discover you and add to it. That's the best I could define this. We're back to the tree house again. We're back to the builders. They're saying that I never okay, so kid with the ideas, I did not give him a letter. I did not say A for him or B. I did not call him letter D. He had no letter at all. They asked me, why didn't you give him a letter? If they're all equal, then they all deserve to have a letter. And so they all have a defining point. He has no defining point. That's what they're saying. Still, I chose to see him as different than the other three. They said that I didn't know to provide him with one. It just, there's something to this. They're really pushing me to examine this. They're almost hysterical about it. Like we really, why didn't you give him a letter? Why didn't you give him, identifying variable? Why did you not give him an identifying variable? You chose instinctively to separate him without even realizing it. How human beings do this? They don't even realize they do this. They have a tendency to separate leaders from followers, is what they call them. That's what they're saying. They're asking me now, then, is the idea maker a leader? Or is it, they're talking about this. This is important. If we are to create a world or a society of balance, then how is the queen with the amazing idea, the amazing voice that is supposed to inspire those that are not aware yet? I'm still trying to make sense of this. I'm going to continue to examine it. They're still showing me the little boy that was in the classroom where none of the other kids are. He actually chose to set himself apart. That girl she also chose to set herself apart. These two kids are different. They're different than all the other kids. They may blend in as kids, but they're not like other kids. They're saying that ideas maker, he's different than the other kids. There's something that sets him apart. They're asking me, well, what is it? They want me to identify him as there's a hierarchy of value here. And so there's something in the caliber of their souls is the best I could define it. They're saying, so when it comes to an alpha dog, why is it all the other dogs sense that dog has more emphasis? Because of the essence of this dog's soul and how the soul interacts with the biology of its physical dynamics. That's what makes it the best dog. So what makes it the best person? A super freaking ancient soul blended into the biology of a body that has some smarts to it and some some caliber of some kind. I mean, you can take awesome soul and put it into a body that has Down syndrome, and it's kind of hard to be the leader of the pack, because the biology of the body isn't meant to be that way. But they're really wanting me to showcase this. They're talking about this. It's important. They're wanting me to say it is okay to see that sometimes some human beings really do set themselves apart. It's not just because there's something about the caliber of their soul, but also the dynamic of their biology that blend together to make them. And there's a reverence in association with that too. I mean, we need to honor and respect those souls that have the higher awareness. How do they get the ideas in the first place? Where do they come from? Come from living thousands and thousands and thousands of lifetimes. And through those lifetimes, they just have senses and a hunch. And it just comes from somewhere. I don't know where. Past life maybe, but we don't remember. We don't know why. The more lifetimes you have, the more cookies are in your jar. You know what I mean? The more you have to give. The less lifetimes you have, you just don't have the full diversity of understanding. And so the best you can give isn't always the ideas. But they're really wanting to emphasize setting it apart, the ideas maker, the creator, because without the ideas, what's good's wood and nails and tools? The ideas maker knows that he needs wood and nails and tools. The ideas maker knows he needs these things. He may not have them himself. So what does he do? He puts his idea out there and then tries to recruit A, B, and C or whatever. And now we start working together as a team. This is a big one. They're showing me what is planet Earth and what are these little rascals, they're like 4 or something, building a tree house, right? And they're showing me people building treehouse here, and it's like collaborations of mini teams all across the globe, building things to change the world. I'm telling you, it's huge. I mean, and it's funny because I have duplicate of the same image, and I don't know, thousands of the same image all across the globe. I see the globe here, and there's Africa, and there's North America, and then there's like plots of the same image, and it's always one kid has a piece of wood and then is sawing it. One kid has a hammer and nails and then is banging it. One kid is pointing, and so it's the same image, and you can hear all these building sounds and then discussions and ideas, and it's being done all across the globe. It's really cool. I mean, because it's really exciting. Everybody's really excited about it. Everybody's pitching in all across the globe. Everybody's on the same page. And it's a gift to all. It's a gift to everybody. It's not just, it literally is a gift to everybody. I can feel the interconnection between all of the little plots all across the globe. It's exciting, I'm telling you. It's literally like they're worker bees doing all this stuff, but they're simultaneously loving each other all across the globe without even realizing it. They're loving each other, they're loving everything, all the spaces in between. They're giving this gift to humanity, they're giving this gift to Mother Earth, they're giving this gift to outer space, they're giving this gift in all different dynamics and ways. And it's a builder scene, like saws and hammering and nails and blueprints and pointing, and it's funny, it's cute, it's like kids doing it though. Kids acting like adults doing this. I cannot, the excitement of this is just absolutely I'm so excited about it. It's like the most exciting thing ever. That's the way this feels. It's hard to disconnect from it and move on to the next thing. It's that awesome. It's that exciting. It's that big time. It's happening across the whole entire globe. It's not just in this state. It's everywhere. And it's a big deal, and it's beautiful, and it's a gift, and it's something that we all rejoice in. Every human being on the planet rejoices in it. It's amazing. It's beautiful. They're saying, who inspires a gift of this caliber? Is it the man with the woods, with the nails, with the hammer, or is it the ideas maker? What inspires us in the first place? It starts with an idea. It always starts with an idea. If the wood guy doesn't have the ideas and the nails guy doesn't have the tool guy, what good is it? They need the ideas maker. And so it starts with the ideas maker. And then from the ideas maker, it catches on. People start getting on board with the idea, and they figure out ways they can help make the idea come and manifest. And then somehow that inspires others to take part, so they get the blueprints too, and they start doing the same idea, and they're expanding it. It's just like the very first McDonald's. Wow, what a great idea. I'm going to make a McDonald's. Me too, me too, me too. Now we have McDonald's all over the globe. So it's like whatever this idea is, it's just like the first McDonald's ever, but something really, really good to help humanity. And it spreads all over the globe. And it becomes like 1 billion served. Like, it's a really big deal. And it's generosity. There's a huge energy about generosity involved with this. And gift of love. And it inspires many also to take part in whatever this is too. And it just seems natural that people would partake in this. And it's oddly easy. I don't get how come it is just so easy. I mean, it's as easy as people just agreeing to volunteer, once a week after work for 4 months or something. It's to put this together. It's in a way, it's kind of like Homes for Humanity, or I don't know what it's called, but some people volunteer to build a house for a family in need, and they build an entire house in like 1 week or something like that, and it's all volunteer based. And so it's something really, really, a lot of people coming together to put it together, but it has to start with an idea. Again, they're showing you the pyramids. The idea maker is the peak of the pyramid. You can't have a pyramid without a peak. It's got to have a peak too to make it a pyramid. So you can see the oneness and the value of every single block in a pyramid. But they're indicating that the top of the pyramid is the ideas maker. Again, there's like a sleepier sensation. And just hear like airplane propellers going round and round. Airplane engine even. Airplane is really high in the sky and then kind of does a swoop and around, turning around or something. This is not a modern airplane, but it's not old airplane, but it has propellers. It's not massive either, but it's not small. Maybe 12 passengers or something. There's a woman, I hear her say darling, and she crosses her legs. She has a really very attractive, I don't know what this material is. So it would be like a work suit. Like it's like a skirt that goes just past the knees, but it's not made out of that material. It's green. It's kind of a plaid color, and it's darker with green as well. And then it's got a really nice coat with a button that comes over top, a white, with a collar, and then it form fits, and then like a skirt down to her knees, and she's wearing like a brownish color pantyhose and some nicer, they're not really high heels, they're just a tiny heel shoe, and she has a really cute hat on, and her hair is absolutely beautiful. I mean, she's a beautiful woman. She's a totally beautiful woman. There's something old school about her style. It's kind of like Indiana Jones with Elsa, kind of that kind of hairstyle, and just That she's really beautiful. She's dark. It's like an auburn colored hair. And she calls the man she's with darling. Inside this plane. I'm telling you, it's ritzy. They have money. That's a feeling of having money. I never see his face. I never see her hold his hand. I never see a man at all. But she really seems to be having a conversation with a male. And I feel, I'm going to be honest with you, this is an empty plane. No pilot, nobody in here. She's got little gloves on and she's pulling them off, you know, the fingers, and she's got white pearls. Something of her outfit is shifting a little bit, but it's still the same essence of she's really tidy and pretty and clean. She's got, I mean, there was a real cutesy side of her. Any man would be like hubba hubba in the moment that she calls him darling, like, you know, him getting like, you know, pretty happy about that. And then, but now that we're acknowledging there's nobody flying the plane, there's nobody here, it's kind of like the bus again, it's kind of like the schoolroom again. And she's taking her gloves off, and her demeanor is changing from what is, I mean, she's totally good at knowing how to talk to a guy. Like, there's no question she knows what to do to make a man happy. And then just her mannerisms and the way that she's beautiful as well. It's not very hard. And then she's standing up and she has a serious nature to her. Her outfit is changing and she looks like the pilot. She looks like she could fly the plane. I mean, she looks like she was flying the plane to begin with. I mean, and she's still a female. There is no man here. It's just her piloting her own plane. The essence of her being a female with a male that makes all the money, and she just has the luxury of flying in the plane with him, etc. Now, I mean, it's just her world, her plane, her money, her ability to fly a plane. Again, it's like, who is she? I mean, there's something of, it's amazing how these personalities shift, you know? They say she's flying the plane. Who is she? She's flying the plane. Who is she? She's the pilot. Who is she? She's a female flying a plane at a time when females shouldn't be flying planes. It's like Amelia Earhart. It's a miracle. It's like, again, they're talking about the ideas maker. This caliber soul in a female body flying a plane at a time when that was just not. What? Are you serious? They're talking about that again. So Amelia Earhart, we have to acknowledge there's something about her that sits at the top of the pyramid, you know? We can't deny that there's something about her that stands out as being quite a little bit more extraordinary than the average Joe. We can't acknowledge her that she is like everybody else, because she's not. She is clearly not like everybody else. Again, that sleepier feeling. So I just gotta wait. That she's taking the plane just around. She's going down. She's gonna land. There's a water body and like a sandy beach kind of thing down here. But she's going in like a little loop, like a coil all the way down. It's not like she's just turning her around and then going in for a landing. She's just like, there's something like a mobile, like a kid looking at a baby looking up at a mobile, like a plane just circling around and around. So I'm just watching. It's just the essence of the scene isn't so much, it's shifting. It's shifting its meaning. What is a woman flying a plane going to land here at this beach in the water is turning into a toy, kind of like a toy plane, just, the kid, there's something like a mobile hanging and the plane is just spinning on a, fish line, something like that. And then transitioning again to a scene where this is actually just an illustration on the book, and we're a hand ripping this page out, crumpling it up, throwing it. Now book is just the words, black and white, words on page. No images, no illustrations here. Just looking at the words on the page. Oh, it's something like law books, This is the law, written on the page. Word for word, read it. Law, book. Lots of law books, lots of black and white. Read the law. There you go. Hundreds and hundreds of books. That's the law, black and white, written on the page. There it is. It just... as they're really driving home that feeling, we're back in sort of the den or the study, and we're just, a little cap on for some light reading. And then just page for page, just reading them I'm not in a hurry, got nowhere to go, nothing to do. I'm just relaxing here in my jammies and my robe, because this is the man again, the mustache. He's wearing glasses. Huge room. Massive fireplace. Not only this way, but really tall too. And then giant moose head. Really ornate furniture. I can't imagine it's comfortable. It's really more pretty than comfortable, but their posture was quite good. There's something about, he's fine. He feels just fine and cozy. He's wearing those pajamas with the blue, with the white pinstripe, and then like a red robe tied, and then slippers. And he's reading the book, very slowly and carefully taking in each word on the page. He takes his finger and then flips the page. He licks his finger in order to flip the page. It's amazing how slow he reads, because anymore it's like, learn how to be a fast reader, read a book in 5 minutes. And for him, it's like he takes in each and every word, each and every sentence, each and every paragraph, each and every page, one page at a time. It's very slow and patient and timeless. There's no sensation of being in a rush here. It's more of a now experience than... It's incredibly a now experience. Because his body will instinctively tell him when he's read enough and that it's time for bed, kind of thing. So he's just in the now, reading this book at a nice, relaxed pace. And then when he's ready for bed, he will just go to bed. And then tomorrow he will be doing whatever he is. It just... There are no noises of interruption. There's nothing else. He doesn't have to check his cell phone. He doesn't have to it's that time, gotta see what's going on in the news. My game's on now, I gotta turn on sports. There's nothing in the way of distraction at all. It's just the patient and then experience of there's time passing, but it's also a timeless moment. I like experiencing it. So he's showing me the mirror again, and it's like he's manicuring his mustache. Maybe not shaving. Maybe he was plucking out or just making just a very small scissor to make the mustache is perfect, or there's something about a very fine manicuring of his appearance. They show me that he rides horses too. He's dressed, he's got really long boots and those sort of cream colored pants that are tighter. I mean, he's got a hat kind of like they wear. I mean, it's almost like gonna take the hounds and go hunting. Jolly good time, you know, kind of like something like that. It's like the boys are gonna come over and we're gonna ride some horses, you know, let the hounds loose. I mean, it's kind of like that, but I only see him. It's like the women wear their nicest, their best, and go spend time together and hang out with the kids. And the men get together, ride horses with their guns, and then, you know, hunt. It's that kind of feel. He's on the horse. He's ready to do this, but, I mean, let loose the hounds, but there's no hounds here. There's nobody coming. He's been riding on the horse. He doesn't even have the gun, and now he's getting off of the horse. He wipes his brow and says, boy, that was, you know, it was a good day. That was a really good, you know, jolly good time kind of thing. You know, got a couple of, you know, rabbits, or I don't know. It's just like he just did the entire thing without actually doing it. Again, everything is invisible. It's like the bus, it's like the airplane. It's like he did the entire thing, but yet he did not do anything at all. He just got on a horse and then got off of it and said that he had the best time ever. It was a really successful hunt. You know, the dogs did great. Great time with the guys or whatever. But none of that ever happened. There's I mean, he feels kind of lonely in his heart. He feels alone. He's sweating, like he's been out in the heat and riding the horses, and it's been a hard day's work. He's kind of he's just wiping his brow. I mean, he doesn't use a hanky or anything. He's just kind of wiping it on his really nice jacket. I mean, he's really hot as well. It's just him. He's got a gun now. I mean, he's just standing on a patio, kind of aimlessly wiping his brow and looking around. Are you going to go inside? Are you going to tell me something? What else? He's just going to sit down on this very ornate metal bench that's painted white. And he's going to kick a leg up and takes off his hat. His hair is wet. And he's just going to relax and look at nature. Just look at the sky, look at the grass. And just allow his thoughts to wander. He's just going to take in the moment and be at peace. He feels totally at peace. He has no distractions. He doesn't have to run to the store. He doesn't have to catch the latest Jerry Springer episode. He doesn't have to play, the new Angry Birds game or whatever. I mean, he just is in connection with himself, his body, and nature, without any outside influences, without any need to even leave his home anytime soon. And if he does have to leave his home, it would be by horse or something. Or carriage or whatever. He's thinking about this female. And she's thinking about that young boy. He is seeing them both holding hands, looking at him and smiling at him. He is relaxed and looking back at this image in his mind, and he's smiling back at them. The little boy runs up to him and calls him daddy. This woman, she's wearing a very beautiful red outfit, and then it's a long dress, full length sleeves, all the way to the wrist, a beautiful hat. I mean, it's red, and it's really beautiful. And she's walking slowly towards him, smiling. She's not speaking at all. He holds his hand out for her. She holds her hand out to his. Their hands touch. They look into each other's eyes. I'm telling you, it's not like va-va-voom, baby. We have been in this thing, it's really relaxed and balanced, and between male and female. Their needs are met physically, mentally, emotionally. They're satisfied with each other. They're satisfied with their life. This is all part of his thoughts as he's sitting here by himself, relaxing. He feels, I love the way he feels. He doesn't need anything else. He's not wanting anything else. He's not wanting another woman. He's not upset with his son. He's not frustrated about anything. He's actually content with everything he has, with the woman in his life and his son. He is in the study, relaxing, and sometimes when he reads his book, he goes into a fog where he sees this image of her and the boy, and he feels really happy. Why are they not together? Why have I not seen them together at all? Did they die? I have not seen them in the same room together. And the way his heart feels, it feels lonely. But he's not really embracing loneliness. He actually is just experiencing life very relaxed, and he does not feel severe loneliness by any means. He may feel alone sometimes, and he likes to think about her and this boy, and it makes him smile. He does not have an issue with the quiet, because that's all he's ever known. He hasn't had the disruption of television noises and music playing and people and all that to congest his need to have more noise. He actually is content with silence, or just the sound of a crackling fire for hours. Doesn't need to have a conversation with somebody. So his experience of loneliness is not the same, because he doesn't need to have, his needs are different. They say, did you want them to be together? They say, there's something to the joy. I say, yes, I do. I do want them to be together. What if they cannot be together? I say, if they can't be together, then that is the way it is. They ask me, why do you want them to be together? Say, I'm not sure why. Maybe because it just seems natural that they would be together. I mean, it just seemed natural that that woman would have a man and a pilot flying the plane. Not that it was just her flying the plane. It just seemed natural. There's something about the concepts of what we believe is natural isn't always what is necessary, or what we should, how we should perceive things. It's good to sometimes create new perceptions of what can be balanced too. I'm still examining this. I'm still examining why I feel that way. It's like the girl in the notebook and the hearts and the boy that she drew on her page. She was in such a heavenly way thinking about this boy, but I never saw them ever coming together. They are not going to allow me to see what happens when I put the female and the boy together. They will not. They want to keep those images separated. They will only allow for him to have these moments where his minds think about her and the boy. I've tried to bring her into the study and see what he does, but they won't allow it. They are demanding they are separated. They are not together. The thoughts of her and the boy, though, bring a smile to his face. They charm him. They make his heart happy. But then he goes back to reading. He just goes back because what is he going to do? Keep thinking about them? Go after them? There's nothing he can do to change the reality, is the balance that he experiences. And there's not a second thought about it. And it is okay as well. I'm trying to get back to the female and the boy to see if they'll share anything else. They won't. They will not share anything else about that. So this is for you to decide what it means to you. It's definitely a perspective on relationships. They will say that they want me to reiterate that this woman is of a very high caliber, sits at the top of the pyramid, has extremely wise words that she speaks to many. But she too can just be a regular person and just enjoy regular experiences in life and have fun with this boy that she loves. They will not allow me to feel her as his real mother. But she loves him so much, and he adores this woman. I mean, they are like a mother and a son, but their connection is just really powerful. They want me to emphasize again her as the Queen of Hearts as I defined her at the front, and then sharing very wise words with many people who are there to actually listen and digest it. And it's intelligent conversation. It's not slap happy, wow, entertainment, just throw it out there to get people's attention. It's actually intelligent, and it's real, and it's important, and it's serious. And it comes from her heart, is what they say. That's all they're going to share on this, Wendy. All right, well, definitely be curious to see what you think. There's a lot of images in there, a lot of storylines. Be thinking about this a lot. Thank you for exploring this work with me. I really enjoyed it. And for those of you watching, if you're interested in experiencing a soul rebirth journey with me, please visit my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.